Hey Quilter, I'm Kristen with ISeeStarsQuilting.com. Welcome to my sewing room and my channel here on YouTube. I appreciate that you're here. Today I want to talk to you about, perfectionism. Yeah, how about that? Let's talk about perfectionism today. I've tried really hard to let go of that side of myself. I still struggle with it a whole lot, and I know from reading your emails, your comments, you struggle with perfectionism too, or definitely wanting to do your best and get as close as to perfect as possible. So I think this is a really important topic to discuss, and it is something that all quilters should embrace. Not the perfectionism part. I think all quilters should embrace imperfection. So today I want to talk about how we can switch our focus from perfectionism and progress to embracing imperfections in quilting. This is something I talk about quite often in like the live settings and stuff that I do, because even though I'm an experienced quilter and I love quilting, I did not get into quilting to have something else that causes stress in my life. Yes, ma'am, on that, okay? I did not get into quilting to have something else that causes me stress. I got into quilting so that I can have a creative outlet, so that I can create things for my family, and so that I can enjoy what it is that I am doing and get those ideas out of my head. So first and foremost, it is important to remember that imperfections are a natural part of the quilting process. It's a natural part of life too, but that's a different subject. Next, let's try to let go of the idea of that perfect quilt, okay? Instead, I want you to focus on the progress that you are making as you are creating this quilt. We know that like each quilt, you get a little bit better and a little bit better. If you would take a look at the very first quilts that I made many years ago when my kids were teeny tiny, to the quilts that I make now, you couldn't have told that, Kristen, that these were made by the same two people. It takes time to get to that level of progress. It takes practice, it takes a whole lot of patience, and it takes time to get to that. So here's a few quilts that I'm gonna show you from the years that I have been a quilter. You know, by stepping outside of our comfort zones and embracing imperfection, we can create quilts that are truly one of a kind. Embracing imperfection in quilting is all about shifting our focus from perfectionism to progress. And by accepting imperfections as a natural part of quilting process, as a natural part of life actually, but as a natural part of the quilting process, celebrating progress over perfection, embracing imperfection as a design element, and taking risks and trying new things, we get to create these quilts that are truly unique and reflective of our individual style and creativity. So focus on building your skills, focus on those little bitty steps forward, and celebrate those small victories, like when you learn a new technique and you actually got it right this time without having to use the seam ripper. Like, that's amazing. Congratulations. Celebrate those little things. Try something new. You might like it. Another strategy is to embrace imperfection as a design element. Now, I do this an awful lot, okay? I am like the queen of pivoting when it comes to things aren't working out the way that we thought they would. Let's reevaluate and let's change something, okay? Modern quilting is the perfect venue for that. There's no rules, right? There's no rules. And I don't know about you, but when I have like my quilts like this right here, like that I have been snuggling with all day, I really love the aspect of knowing that this is the only quilt in the world that is this one right here, that looks like this. It's not mass reproduced. It's not like if somebody else took the same fabrics and made the same quilt, it would be similar, but it wouldn't be an exact replica. And I absolutely love that. Like in the art world, that is something that is totally celebrated. That is something that absolutely increases the value of it. Okay, it's only in our minds that the imperfections of a piece of like fabric here are quilts, that those imperfections decrease the value. In the art world, it's totally an increase. And so kind of reframe that thinking, maybe don't let yourself like have all the flaws and just claim it as like that's how you wanted it to be. But a few of them in there, choice flaws, ones that you decide, I'm gonna leave that in there, those are the ones that make that quilt absolutely unique. Maybe it's wonky lines or uneven shapes, but I really think that they all give it character and make it something that is completely from you. right? It's what you put into the quilt, and your talents, your techniques, everything that you put in there, it makes that quilt a part of you. Finally, I don't want you to be afraid of trying something new. Quilting is a very creative pursuit, and creativity is something that thrives in an environment where you can experiment. So how amazing is that? And what a grand opportunity if only you change your mindset from being like a complete failure and not being able to make a quilt to being like an artist who is putting their stamp on things in the world and just creating all of these one-of-a-kind pieces that go out and live in the world and create beauty everywhere. I love that. I absolutely love that. So, if you are not a subscriber of my channel and you really loved today's video, would you please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and then let's see, in the comments, I would really love to know what your #1 quilting struggle is, because I personally, I really do struggle with perfectionism. I know I'm not alone because I read your emails, I see the things that you send me and the questions that you have and the frustration behind those emails when you're so mad that those points don't line up and you can't do anything about it. I get it. I do. Perfectionism is something that I really, really struggle with. Some days we just slap it together and it is what it is, but it is something that I struggle with. So I would love to know what you struggle with as a quilter down in the comments. Let me know and we will work through these struggles together, because that's what we do. We are a community of quilters. We're here for each other. I'm here for you, and I love, love, love to hear from you. So I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope that you create something beautiful today. I hope that you enjoy the gorgeous weather that is in the fall. Hopefully it's gorgeous where you are. It's gorgeous where I am right now, but I hope that you enjoy outside, get a little bit of fresh air, create something amazing and beautiful, and do what you love to do. I'm Kristen with ISeeStarsQuilting.com. I will talk to you next week. Bye.